LinkedIn thought leader ads are all the rage, and you're about to find out exactly why on this week's episode of the LinkedIn Ads Show.
Welcome to the LinkedIn Ads Show. Here's your host, AJ Wilcox.
Hey there, LinkedIn Ads fanatics. As he said, I'm AJ Wilcox. I'm host of this weekly podcast, the LinkedIn Ads Show. I'm thrilled to welcome you to the show for advanced B2B marketers looking to evolve their craft towards becoming a true LinkedIn Ads pro. Now, I've hinted about this episode before, and we've talked about it extensively in the LinkedIn Ads fanatics community, but I am ecstatic to talk about LinkedIn's new thought leader ads. And rather than me doing a solo episode about it, which I may still do in the future, I wanted us to hear from LinkedIn the whole backstory and where people are finding success with this new ad format. I got to hear our guests speak at Inbound this year, which was incredible, and I told you a bit about it if you listened to the Inbound recap episode a few months back. You may remember me talking about Taina Palumbo Price. Well, she leads product marketing for the entire LinkedIn Ads division of LinkedIn, so she's very familiar with every product that I was able to throw at her. Now, do you have a question, a review, or feedback for the show in general? You can message me on LinkedIn or email us at podcast@b2linked.com, but just record an audio file of you talking, sharing whatever you want to share, and then I'll plan on playing them here on the show. I'm happy to keep you anonymous or share your details and shout you out. So record yourself asking a question, providing some feedback or whatever, and I'd love to be able to include you. All right, with that being said, let's jump right into the interview with Taina. Taina, I'm so excited to have you here. I got to see you speak at Inbound this year, which is amazing. You did fantastic. I loved all of the LinkedIn presentations. Just super excited to have you on. Welcome.
Thank you so much. I'm so excited to be here, and I'm really glad you were able to catch my session at Inbound. I was very nervous.
You didn't look at it at all. And I'm really excited to talk to you today because we're talking about one of the products that I think is historic. Like, I think this is a future classic for LinkedIn, one that I'm personally very excited about. So I'm super excited to get to understand the background here. What we're talking about is thought leader ads. First of all, before we get into that, tell us about yourself.
Yeah, I'd love to do that. So I have a secret superpower, which maybe you can tell from my LinkedIn profile, but I am a B2B marketer my whole life. Every year in the last 21 years of work have been focused on business to business work in the product marketing and marketing space. And it's one of the things that I bring to this team at LinkedIn Ads. And one of the things that gets me the most excited about the work that we're doing here to help build incredible products tailored and built specifically for the needs of B2B marketers, which I know personally are different than the needs of other marketers. So by day, you can find me with my team all over the US building products for LinkedIn Ads. And by night, you can find me with my Shih Tzus and my family chilling on Austin patios, probably sipping a margarita.
Love it. And I can't tell you how much that means to me to see that people like you who actually have real world B2B marketing experience are leading the products. It's amazing. It really is. Like, us as marketers, I think we feel taken care of because you're going to express the same views that we've had from external. I love that.
One of the things I'm most excited about is having spent so long in the seat in B2B marketing, leading teams and also building products, that sell to businesses, which we just know is intrinsically different, is we've had this feeling that we're having to patch together products that are built for a different utility. One of the things that I wake up really excited about these days is our approach to measurement. Because I know from many years of asking for budget and trying to rationalize the work that we drive in B2B marketing, that the C-suite often looks at the metrics that are driven by B2C, and they look at them as sort of the North Star for how we're supposed to do our work and deliver value. But we know it's very disconnected in the very long funnel and the very long engagement times that it takes for us to be able to actually bring value and revenue to the business. And one of the things, as I said, that I am so excited about right now is just the moment that we're in B2B measurement, because we're driving differentiated product creation tailored to what B2B marketers need to actually show value, the value we already know that they're driving every day inside the business, and unlocking new budgets to be able to drive different types of marketing, more creative marketing, and spending a little time on brand, which I was never really allowed to do in my career.
that's something I really appreciate because I've been talking about this for a long time, that LinkedIn ads is at a big disadvantage to other platforms simply because phone calls and over email, backend in a CRM. And so this is one of the most powerful things that I think that LinkedIn can do is to give us measurement tools, allowing us to better represent, because we know LinkedIn wins. Like there just is no other platform out there where you get access to your ideal target audience at scale if you're in B2B. I'm excited about your measurement initiatives.
Thank you. Actually, that's how I got the job here. I talked about exactly what you just described, like across all the platforms where I spent money over the course of my career. At the end of the day, 18 months later, even when I wasn't in seat, when I looked back at revenue attribution, the people I found on LinkedIn were the people that eventually bought because they're the right buyers. So between our revenue attribution product, Cappy went live last month, and in the beginning of next year, we're looking at launching clean rooms. We're really building out a bespoke suite that is meant to track and capture all that goodness from end to end for a B2B cycle.
Well, that's amazing. We know we're going to have you back to talk about some of the other products because these are exciting, what's coming. Very, very excited. So let's jump then into Thought Leader ads. First of all, tell us what they are. What are Thought Leader ads?
Thought Leader ads are magical unicorns. They're a really special ad format that allows you to create an ad out of the organic content that the thought leaders, I mean, we'll talk about what that maybe means inside of different companies within your company are putting out. And so that helps you engage and draw from the reach that that person within your company and their followers already have, and adds gravitas to the messaging that you're putting out in the market based on the incredible people that you work so hard to bring into the building and to represent your company.
That's beautiful. Now, why did LinkedIn decide to add this feature? What about it? And what were those conversations like internally where the light turned on for you and said, ooh, we need to add this feature?
I love that. Well, I will step back for a moment just to say that the job of product marketing is to bring the market into R&D, into our product teams. And this is one of the places where we really do listen to all of the things that people mention online, the feedback we get from our customer advisory board. Like, we are listening. And for so many years, people were like, man, I spend so much money bringing in experts into my business. They post the most incredible content. It could be your CEO. It could be somebody that you bring in who's an SME leading the market in a particular body of work. And what we would like to do is to be able to expand the reach of the work that they're already doing. They're doing it for our company. We're talking about our company, and we have no way to actually put money behind that. And so that is actually where the genesis came from. Users like you.
Ooh, totally. I love giving the feedback from things I'm seeing in the marketplace. So asking then about Thought Leader ads, where should we think about them sitting in our strategy?
That's a great question. So for me, Thought Leader ads is like a multi-tool. I think traditionally, the place where we think it makes a lot of sense is at the top of the funnel in brand, because you're able to articulate and share messages into the market that are from the most critical thought leaders in your business and helping drive awareness, understanding, bringing top of mind, and also helping build that relationship with the people inside of your buying network who are learning about you and understanding, you know, how critical your voice or perspective or depth of knowledge around the thing that they sell is. But we've also seen it used in a variety of different ways. Like, as an example, there's a few companies who recently have had great success with using Thought Leader ads for recruiting top talent, promoting incredible leaders who either focus on DEI work or who focus on really interesting ways of training and upskilling their teams and being able to get that message out into the market. And that might be interesting for hiring engineers or AI talent, as an example. So we sort of went into this thinking this is a really great brand play, and it technically sits inside of the brand portfolio, but we've seen it used all the way down the funnel, dependent on how the company is thinking about what content they'd be able to push and publish. And user-generated content, the thing that's so beautiful about it is that we can talk about anything as employees within a company. And if it lends itself to critical initiatives in the business, whether it's like, I built an incredible demo and I wanted people to see how amazing it came out, it might end up being a bottom of the funnel lead generation tool. So it's really like the master multi-tool.
I totally agree with that. How should we as marketers get access to Thought Leader ads? Let's say our listeners have not yet launched them. What are the steps they need to do that?
So it's a really simple process. What you want to do is identify a thought leader or a subject matter expert inside of your business. As I talked about earlier, it can really be dependent on how your business is structured and who the top voices are inside of the company and what you're trying to achieve. Next, you determine what your objective is, and you either choose brand awareness or engagement objective, whatever suits your campaign goals. Like I said, you can sort of use this in however format you think is going to make most sense for you. You search for the employee that's associated, and you look for the company page. You find the post you want to promote, and you request the poster's permission. And you do all of this inside of Campaign Manager. Consent is important. And then there's no need to create any new content. You simply choose the single image or the video ad format, which is new, by the way, and very exciting. And you select the approved post, use it as your creative, and off you go. And we do have best practices guides and step-by-steps, which you can find on our Thought Leader Ads landing page on LinkedIn.com. Before I jump to talk about the next thing, I would love to give an example of a thing that I think about often when marveling at Thought Leader Ads and thinking about how it would have been really beneficial for me in other parts of my career, if that's okay.
Of course.
Awesome. So 10-ish years ago, I worked in a fintech company. We were a startup, super scrappy, looking to grow and really make our name inside of lending. And we had a very long, arduous process of securing an amazing top economist who came to work for the company. And he came with a wealth of knowledge, a very deep background, and so many thousands of followers that were instrumental inside of the financial sector, in banks, in lending organizations, and some early fintech startups as well, and really like a tastemaker inside of the space. And I think about all the work we did to try to extract the goodness out of the gold that were in his posts at the time on LinkedIn. We made blog posts about his work. We made white papers about some of the things he posted. We did a lot of screenshopping and photoshopping of his quotes to add to our own posts. And I think like if we had had Thought Leader Ads at that time, the trajectory of our growth and our ability to saturate the market as a brand name and as a player in the fintech space would have been truly incredible.
It's really interesting. I love that concept of how you could have used that. Right now in higher ed, we have one professor at one of our clients' universities who is very active on LinkedIn, and she's leading a 2-day course on negotiations. And so what we're setting up for her right now is to boost her post, basically saying, hey, make sure you sign up for my course. Here's what I'm going to be covering. Getting to hear it right from the horse's mouth, per se. I think this is great use cases for Thought Leader Ads.
I love that. I love all use cases. I want to hear them all.
All right, here's a quick sponsor break, and then we'll dive back into the interview.
The LinkedIn Ads Show is proudly brought to you by B2Link.com, the LinkedIn ads experts.
If you want to get a return from your LinkedIn ads, consider this question. How much ad spend are you willing to waste along the way? After auditing over 800 LinkedIn ads accounts, we've seen one common theme, and that is wasted ad spend. B2Linked helps B2B companies maximize profit by minimizing the waste that comes from poor targeting, bad bidding, and inefficient campaign setup. Book a discovery call with us today to eliminate the waste in your account, and we'd absolutely love the chance to get to work with you. Just go to b2linked.com/discovery to book that free call. All right, let's jump back into the interview with Taina. All right, so what results have you seen so far? I know these just launched in June. We're talking in 2023, near the end of the year. What results have we seen so far?
Yeah, so I can say like qualitatively what we see is just from the market, an overwhelming response around the engagement on posts. Everything that's boosted through Thought Leader Ads, we get way more engagement, way more click-throughs, and people are so excited about the amount of activity that happens from these posts in a way that even when we had great thought leaders posting this content for the first time organically, it's really giving sort of wind beneath the sails and driving incrementality. I actually was curious to hear how it's been working for y'all.
It's been truly amazing. So between these and document posts, we're seeing incredibly high click-through rates. Those who are regular listeners, like we've talked about the auction, we've talked about relevancy score before, so this won't be any sort of like a new concept. But we're seeing click-through rates where like a normal direct sponsored content post might get 0.5%, 0.6%. We're seeing click-through rates up in the like 3, 4, sometimes 5% range.
Wow.
And as we know, the higher your click-through rate and engagement goes, the lower your effective costs go. And so we're also seeing costs in the range of like $2 to $4 per click, whereas we might see $10 to $16 per click from direct sponsored content. So truly, this is amazing. And I want to try to figure out how to use these in all stages of funnel because they are so effective at getting a very low cost but meaningful interaction in front of exactly your ideal target audience.
I love that. And I keep thinking about the why behind the magic. And I really do think it boils down to authenticity. Like part of LinkedIn is building a persona that is true to you, right? You're representing your professional self, the experience that you gather, and you're accountable to the people in your network who know you, right? Like I can't say I was the president of the United States. People know that's not true, but people know the quality of my work and they follow me because of that. And that authenticity is the reason people come back to learn from you, to hear from you. And it just adds a level of sort of validity to the engagement, which is harder when you're crafting something curated from a business. Even though I know as marketers, we spend so much time working on those nuts and bolts, there's something so beautiful about that organic engagement, even if we're boosting it.
I think that's absolutely the key here, the authenticity. Because if you took a company page post organically that said the same thing and boosted it, and then you have it come from a person, the difference in interaction is going to be huge. I mean, you're probably going to get 3 to 5 times the level of engagement. And I think it really does. It comes down to the fact that it's authentic. It's coming from a real person. It's the difference between a testimonial saying, so-and-so said this, first letter of their name from a fintech company, as opposed to their picture, their title, their name standing behind it. You can actually trust like, oh, sure seems like that is a real, not a doctored testimonial.
That's exactly right.
All right, we know they're already amazing. We've already seen support for video posts come out, which I'm very excited about, and that came out very quickly after launch. What's coming in the future that you can see that's going to make these even better?
Ooh, well, a lot. But I will tease with one thing that's dropping in the beginning of next year, which I think people will be really excited about, and also is really driven by critical demand from the market, and that is the ability to use thought leader ads for posts for people that don't work at your company.
Yes. Oh, so exciting. Okay, keep telling us more.
Yeah, so I think, maybe drawing on that thread of authenticity, there are other voices that support your product, your business, even the causes that you are trying to work against inside of your marketplace, which right now we're not able to allow you to take that goodness when people are talking about things that either your company is aligned to or about your own company, and being able to put some money behind that and posting and sharing out those authentic reactions to the work you do or the role you play inside of a particular ecosystem. And so we're really excited to allow for that to be one of the most significant things that we're going to try to push out into the market in the beginning of next year. But there's a lot more beyond that, which means you're going to have me back to talk about future enhancements to the roadmap for thought leader ads. But it really is an ad format that allows us to draw on the goodness of the platform that we've built at LinkedIn, the engagement that professionals share around teaching each other, around giving honest and critical feedback about how things work and how they don't, and learning from each other, which is the ethos around connecting the global workforce.
So this concept of being able to promote a post that is not someone at your company gets me so excited. I'm fired up because especially when we look in B2B, we tend to be quite a bit behind B2C. And what I see being so successful with B2C right now, and this has been for the last several years, is being able to use and leverage user-generated content, or UGC. And we're going to be able to do this in B2B. I mean, we are months away, it sounds like, and I'm so excited to be able to leverage the voices of our customers, of our potential consumers, other thought leaders. And I can only imagine that if you ever got a request from a company saying we'd like to be able to promote your post, that you'd be flattered, you'd be excited. Like a company's going to put money behind showing my posts, and I'm going to get more notoriety and more followers and be seen by more people. This just seems like a total win-win.
It is a win-win. And I actually think you hit on something that I've been thinking a lot about. And that is like the rise of the influencer community on LinkedIn, yourself included. And that is people who really have a point of view that they're driving around the work they do, the things they're passionate about. This is a way that starts to lean into content creation, influencer strategies, user-generated content promotion in a way that starts to actually build that same momentum that we see dominating in B2C and B2B. And I think for the first time, I'm feeling like we're at the precipice of really leaning into being able to own and manage channels that are so successful for B2C in a really bespoke and specific way for B2B that are unheard of and that are sort of unique to the market, but I think are going to really drive change in the way that B2B companies are able to get to their markets.
Yeah, think about how powerful this is. Rather than just listing in your ad, here's a stat from a Gartner report or a Forrester report. Instead, you're boosting the post where they themselves are saying it, and you're just adding on, oh, I think this is great.
I love it.
So I've got an idea for some enhancements just as we've been using Thought Leader ads, 2 real specific ones. When we boost a Thought Leader ad, we don't have any sort of ability to add on tracking parameters to a URL or even name the ad. I would love it if there was even an ad name field that we could put on it. So inside of Campaign Manager, as we're analyzing how things are working, we still have this ability to track the effectiveness of what everything's doing.
I love that. I'll definitely bring that to product.
Okay, cool. Another one is you kind of have to have the perfect mix of things. You have to have chosen the right objective and then the right ad format for the employee post to show up. I'd love to see it the other way around. If you knew what you wanted to do was boost a Thought Leader ad, I would love it if we had it the other way around, where when you go to someone's post, there's a way of doing it the reverse. You tell Campaign Manager, this is the post I want to sponsor, and then it would walk you through and ask you, okay, which of these 2 objectives, which of these 2 ad types, and help you kind of build the opposite way. I think that could knock down a lot of hurdles.
That's super interesting. And what if even on top of that, AI could guide you?
Oh, yeah. This is a different enhancement, but what if the company could, you're not just promoting the post. What if it was like promoting a reshare of the post where they see the post, but then the company gets to add, here's why we think this is so impactful, commentary on it, kind of like you can do organically with a reshare. I love that concept.
I love all those ideas. Thank you. I will definitely package those up and ship them over. I mean, we're always looking for feedback. I think it's been made effectively clear on this call. We take user feedback really seriously. The market knows before anyone what they wish that our products could do for them. And our job is to continue to bring that feedback from the market into the product organization so that we can continue to delight B2B marketers.
Beautiful. Really
I love
cool.
all of those. I actually think on the reverse campaign objective, I think it would be really interesting in the future if AI could tell you, like, posts like this traditionally perform best on this type of objective, because you may not know. Our Thought Leader ads team is always looking for great ideas. These are great.
Totally. Well, anytime you want a voice of customer for any product, feel free to reach out. This is something I'm happy to provide. I work in the platform all day, every day. And if there's any advice that I could give that would help the product be better, it benefits me, but I think it benefits everyone else as well.
Symbiosis.
Yeah, exactly. In addition to the concept of kind of approaching Thought Leader ads backwards, I envision it much the same as when you're looking at your posts on the company page. You see an option to boost, and you can kind of go opposite that way. Because what I see from Thought Leader ads is also an ability for LinkedIn to capture new users of LinkedIn ads. This is like, sure, people who already run LinkedIn ads, they already have a budget, they're going to be using them. But I also think that there's all kinds of marketers and maybe even non-marketers who they just want to get the word out about something within their company. And I see this as being new revenue. I could see someone from outside the marketing organization open up a new budget to use. I like
100%. And actually, like, that's actually a great point, because we have been, the thing we didn't really touch on, but I'll say here is just like PR teams, strategy teams behind CEOs and C-suite and VPs who are out there making an executive presence for themselves. This is an extension of your like personal PR engagement and being able to sort of craft not only the narrative you put out, but like how it appears in the world, like how much you boost a point when you're getting ready to launch a type of product, or you really have a lot more levers than you would traditionally.
Oh, I couldn't agree more. That's an amazing use case for PR. So cool. All right, so kind of switching gears here, what are you most excited about professionally right now?
Well, I think I mentioned at the top of the podcast that I'm a lifelong B2B marketer. The reason I joined LinkedIn, it's been 8 months now. The reason I joined LinkedIn is because there were so many challenges in being a B2B marketer. Like, as somebody who grew up in ads, my first job in college was managing the ads sales team of my college newspaper, was part of AAF. I won awards for Advertising Federation presentations. Like, that was the love, the craft, the creativity. And then I went into the real world as a B2B marketer and quickly became a lead generation specialist. And I eventually moved into product marketing, but still the job was really around moving the market to buy the product. And to me, that feels like one critical part of B2B marketing, but it also means like the creative side of the life that I envisioned for myself as a B2B marketer sort of became less and less available to me. And the budgets for brand became harder and harder to sort of justify inside the building, particularly in the startup and mid-market SaaS businesses where I spent the majority of my career. I think what I'm most excited about professionally is that like it's a sexy look to be a B2B marketer today. You actually have tools that let you be creative, be emotive, talk to the market, be funny, be irreverent. Like, all the things we love about B2C like are available to us now. And LinkedIn is working effectively to build the platform that allows you to do all of those things in a way that reach your target audience and don't let you waste a dollar. So in some ways, I wish I could go back in time and be me 20 years ago today. But that's what I'm really excited about professionally.
That's so exciting to me that business to business is finally having its time in the sun.
Exactly.
And you're right. It has become really sexy. Whereas I think for a long time, I'm a lifelong B2B guy at this point. And I always felt like, I'm a second-class citizen, but I don't feel like that anymore. B2B.
Yeah, how many years did I say, like, I'm a tech marketer, when really I knew I was working in B2B because tech sounds better or is more understandable to people. For the first time, I'll share this last thing and then we can move on, but I was in Cannes for Cannes Lion over the summer as one of my first sort of like official posts for LinkedIn, and talking to agencies who have full B2B practices today is like unreal. I remember looking for agencies to run B2B campaigns for me 10, 15 years ago. And like, that was not interesting. There's so much money in B2B. And I think for the first time, we're really starting to see this opening up. I call it the B2B creativity renaissance. And we're so excited to be building products that allow for that creativity to get to the right people, targeted, explicit, reach, but also still fun, so that we can also enjoy that creative side of the end-to-end funnel and the work in B2B.
Yes. Even in B2B, we still buy from people. And I think thought leader ads are key here. This is where that authenticity, that personality actually gets to shine through. You've just released something that is totally revolutionary for B2B being able to make that personal connection. So a huge thank you from me and the whole LinkedIn Ads Fanatics community.
You're very welcome.
All right, so everyone needs something to look forward to. What are you most excited about personally right now?
Well, I joined LinkedIn 8 months ago, like I shared. I'm a remote employee. My team is distributed all over the US. So I've spent 4 of those 8 months on the road. I'm really looking forward to just in time with my family over the holidays. I know that seems small and cliche, but like after having been a road warrior a lot this year, I'm looking forward to just like sitting around in my PJs, not near an airport for a couple of weeks and recharging and getting ready to launch a lot of amazing stuff next year.
Beautiful. All right. How do you want people to get in touch with you? If they have questions or suggestions or feedback, case studies about what they've done with thought leader ads, are you open to all of this? And if so, how do people reach out to you?
Yes, of course I'm open to it. Find me on LinkedIn, of course. Taina Palumbo Price on LinkedIn. And my favorite thing to do is talk to customers, especially users who have ideas about how our products are working for them and where we can be potentially doing things that we're not doing today to make their lives easier and more productive and value driven inside of their businesses. So my inbox is open. Find me. If you have case studies, I'm deeply excited to hear them. But as I said at the top, the job of product marketing is to bring the voice of the market into our products team. And I mean that. So find me.
Perfect. I put a link to your profile down in the show notes so anyone can go and follow you, connect with you, send you messages there. So that's great. Taina, just sincerely, thank you so much for coming on and sharing all this with us. I'm so excited about this product. I've been planning an episode all about thought leader ads ever since I heard about them, months and months ago. And you've given us so much light and understanding for them. So thank you for sharing your time, and we'd love to have you back again in the future.
Thank you for having me. The feeling is quite mutual, and you better invite me back, or else I'm just going to show up.
Absolutely. All right. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to you.
Thank you so much.
All right. I've got the episode resources for you coming right up, so stick around.
Thank you for listening to the LinkedIn Ads Show. Hungry for more? AJ Wilcox, take it away.
Okay, like Taina talked about, she wants you to reach out to her on LinkedIn, give her feedback, share your wins, anything related to thought leader ads. I'm sure she'd absolutely love, and it is free to message her. So you'll see the link down below in the show notes to her LinkedIn profile. Go find her there. Also, if you're not a member yet of the LinkedIn Ads Fanatics community, what are you waiting for? Go to fanatics.b2linked.com to get signed up. One very low monthly fee is all it takes to get you access to all of the top minds in LinkedIn advertising, sharing, giving feedback. Plus, you'll get access to all 4 of our courses that go all the way from absolute LinkedIn ads beginner to absolute expert. Again, that's fanatics.b2linked.com. And if this is your first time listening, welcome. We're excited to have you here. Make sure to hit that subscribe button so you can keep hearing awesome LinkedIn ads content week after week. Plus, if this is not your first time listening, if you're a fan of the show, please do me the honor of going to rate and review the podcast. It's especially important on Apple Podcasts to leave a review, and it is by far the best way you can say thank you for us creating this content. All right, with any questions, suggestions, or corrections to anything that we've talked about, reach out to us at podcast@b2linked.com. And with that being said, we'll see you back here next week. I'm cheering you on in your LinkedIn ads initiatives.